Hi, this is Sandy with Sandy's Crafty Creations. Welcome back to another day of my 13 Frights before Halloween. We are on day 6, and today we're going to be working on the front porch of the house. Uh, I am working on a haunted house, putting together a kit that I ordered from Country Craft Creations, and I'm patterning it with the paper, decorating it with the paper collection by Photoplay called Matilda and Godfrey. If you're working along with me, today we're going to be assembling the porch piece and probably painting it and getting it ready to attach to the house. So let's get started. So there's two pre-cut pieces for the porch. I call it a step or porch, whichever you want to call it. Actually, what we're making is a little rectangle box. It's going to attach to the porch piece and then also to the house. So I'm just folding the lines right now, and I'm going to use my art glitter glue. And you see the little pointed tabs, that's where you want glue to go. So I'm starting with one end first, the end that has the long piece sticking out. Pull up the sides and stick those little pointed triangle flaps inside. I'm going to have to hold this to make sure that it stays glued. So just give it a few seconds or so for the glue to latch on and for it to hold. So then the other piece is going to just fall over. So you want glue on the side flaps that you can see here. So put a good amount of glue there. And then just fold that long piece down over that and make sure that they're in straight and hold them down so that they can dry. And then you're left with this rectangle piece that has what would be called the lid or the end piece that needs to be glued in. So once that dries, I'm going to fold these little triangle flaps back. So you have 3 on this piece, and add glue. And then you're going to put the side ones in first and then the end one in last, and just kind of work them in there. Can be a little tricky, but it does go. So I'm getting them in and getting them even so that they catch to the side of the box on the inside. So this is, want to make sure this is straight again and squared up. So now I'm ready to glue this piece onto the step or porch section that we just made. So I'm applying a lot of glue just to the back side, and I'm going to glue it down onto the rectangle piece like this. So this makes the covered porch or the little entryway of your house on the outside. So I'm going to let that dry just a minute. So that's glued, and then once it's dry, I'm ready to paint it. I'm going to paint sections of it before patterning it with paper. Again, I'm using a paintbrush and my black acrylic paint to paint this little porch section. So I'm painting the poles on the sides, and I'm going to paint them both on the back and the front, and then I'm painting edges of the roof line. And I think I may go ahead and paint it solid because I'm not sure where the paper is going to go, so I'm just painting all this. Some of it you can just paint just a 1/4 inch around the edges. Just decide what you want to do with yours. I think I'm going to pattern most of mine except for the poles. So just in case I change my mind, I'm going to go ahead and paint it solid black. While my porch is drying, I'm going to work on the door. This is the piece that was cut out originally out of the wall piece that I cut out with my craft knife. So I set that aside and kept it. And I'm going to use the opposite side to create a little door. So I've inked the edges, and I'm taking some gaffer's tape, some black gaffer's tape, and I'm going to create a little hinge and attach it on the inside of the house. So I'm going to peel off some of this tape to create my hinge. I've put the tape on the back side of the door. You could also use duct tape or whatever kind of tape you might have on hand. And I'm inserting the door in, and then I'm going to attach it with tape to the inside of the house. So I'm attaching it down, and I'm going to play with it a little bit and see how it works. I want it to open, I think, to the inside, so I may have to reposition it or something. I'm just checking it out and deciding on if that's exactly where I want it. I'm happy with the placement of my little door, and I'm ready to attach the porch to the entry eave of the porch and the porch base to the house. So first I'm going to see where it needs to attach here on the bottom, and also make sure that it's going to attach properly to the top by that little flap hinge that's there at the top of the piece. So again, I'm using the glue, and I'm putting some glue there on the base of the house. I don't want it to go over onto the door, and I'm just seeing where to put the glue on the back. I don't want it all the way on the back piece because then it would go over the door. So I'm checking where I want the glue to go and just attach it down. And hold it and let it dry. And then next we're going to put glue on the back of the flap, the hinge flap that will attach the roof piece to the above the door. So add another good amount of glue and just fold that little hinge down and attach it just below the windows and right above the door. Okay, so now I'm going to let this dry, let the glue dry, and I think tomorrow we'll probably start working on painting the shutters and the accessory pieces for our house. And I want to remind you that if you're shopping for supplies from Country Craft Creations online store, to make sure that during this 13 days before Halloween that you use code BLOGHOP, BLOGHOP, when you check out. That's all lowercase for 10% off your order. And also remember to leave comments below and on my blog post so that you'll be entered in the drawing that I'll have on October 31st. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.